This summary is about the book How to Master Self-Discipline. In this book, you will learn about the power of purpose, how to control your mind, the importance of breaking your comfort zone, the art of small wins, choosing focus over distraction, the necessity of sacrifice, the power of consistency, and how discipline ultimately leads to freedom. Have you ever wondered what the biggest wall is between your life and your dreams? Often we think someone else is stopping us. Family, society, money, or even fate. But the truth is, the real enemy isn't outside, but sitting inside us. It is our own lack of self-discipline. Imagine you wake up in the morning, open your eyes, but this question echoes in your mind. Why am I doing all this? How many times does it happen that we start work, but after a short while, the motivation vanishes? We feel lost. This is why many people are never able to bring discipline into their life. But if you have a purpose, a motive that fills your veins with fire, then no matter how difficult the situation, you never give up. Purpose is not just a fancy word. It is the force that gets you out of bed when the whole world is asleep. It is the reason that pushes you forward when you have no other strength left. Just think of a person running a marathon. The body is broken, breathing is heavy, the pain in the legs has become unbearable. But suddenly, in the crowd, his eyes fall on his child, who is waving and saying, "Dad, you can do it!" At that very moment, new energy is born inside of him, and he runs to the finish line. Why? Because of one reason. Life is exactly the same. Until your why is clear, discipline doesn't last. People say, "I lack consistency," but the problem isn't consistency, it's a lack of clarity. If you don't know your purpose, your mind will sometimes quit studying, sometimes quit the gym, and sometimes leave work unfinished. But if your purpose is crystal clear, you will stick to it in every situation. Think, if your life's purpose is only to earn money, you will break down the first time you fail. But if the purpose is that you want to give your family a better future, then even failure will not stop you. The purpose should be something that touches the depths of your heart, a reason that compels you to take action every morning. And yes, this purpose doesn't have to be big, it has to be personal.
Now, the question arises, how to find a purpose? The answer is simple. Ask yourself, what is worth fighting for? If my life were to end today, what would I regret? What legacy do I want to leave behind? The answers to these questions will ignite the fire within you that will make you disciplined. And once that fire is lit, discipline will no longer be a struggle. It will become your habit. Remember, the journey of self-discipline starts from only one place, the power of purpose. When your purpose becomes clear, you will become unstoppable, even if the whole world wants to stop you. So look inside your heart and find that reason that gives you the strength to move forward in any situation, because this is the first step towards a disciplined and extraordinary life. Chapter 2. Control your mind. Control your life. Have you ever noticed that the biggest battles in our lives are not with the outside world, but inside our own minds? The alarm rings in the morning. One voice says, "Get up, you have to work out today." But at the same moment, another voice whispers, "Sleep a little longer, start from tomorrow." This is the point where everything is decided. The truth is, if you cannot control your mind, your entire life will go out of control. But if you learn to control your mind, no goal will be too big for you. The mind is like a sword. If you sharpen it, it will protect you and bring you victory. But if you leave it dull, it will harm you. Just think, you are sitting down to do an important task. The laptop is open and work needs to be done, but the mind repeatedly says, "Open Instagram, watch one video, rest for a while." You give in, and slowly the mind starts controlling you. The result is unfinished work, heavy guilt, and low confidence. But imagine if that same mind followed your command. You say, "Focus," and the mind immediately focuses. You say, "Leave the distractions," and the mind helps you complete the work without hesitation. Wouldn't life change? Mind control is not magic. It is practice. It is training. Just as muscles are trained in the gym, your mind is also trained. Every time you resist temptation, every time you make the right choice in small decisions, your mind becomes stronger. People think discipline means restrictions, but in reality, discipline means freedom. Freedom from laziness. Freedom from distractions, freedom from that weak voice that pulls you back. Your mind works the way you teach it through habits. If you always choose the easy path, the mind gets accustomed to it. But if you repeatedly choose the tough path, make the right decisions, and accept discomfort, your mind itself will push you towards success. Remember, the most powerful forces in the world are not outside, but hidden within you. And the greatest power is your mind control. The person who conquers their mind finds no challenge impossible, whether it's preparing for an exam, taking a big business risk, or facing a personal struggle. Mind control is the real weapon. So the question is, will you let your mind become your master, or will you become its master? Because the day you learn to control your mind, from that day on, your life will be in your control. Chapter 3. Break the chains of comfort. Imagine if you were given two paths. One path is of comfort, a soft bed, easy choices, instant pleasures. The other path is of difficulties, waking up early, working hard, sweating, and facing discomfort every day. Which path would you choose? Most people choose the first path because our brain naturally runs towards comfort. But this is where the real tragedy of our life is hidden. The comfort zone slowly imprisons us. It shows us a smooth illusion that everything is fine, everything is going on comfortably. But the truth is that this habit of comfort makes us weak. Think about it. Whenever you skip a workout, whenever you procrastinate out of laziness, whenever you run away from tough decisions, at that moment, you send a signal to your brain that easy is right. And slowly, this signal becomes a part of your personality. The comfort zone is like an invisible jail. You don't even realize that you are trapped. You look free from the outside, but inside, you become a prisoner of that habit. And a person who becomes a prisoner of his comfort zone can never live an extraordinary life. Now the question is, how to get out of it? The answer is simple. Make discomfort your friend. Every time you face difficulty and still stand firm, you break that chain. Every time you defeat laziness and take action, you climb one level up. And every time you step out of your comfort zone, you discover your true strength. Just remember those moments in your life when you felt truly proud. Maybe it was passing an exam after studying all night, maybe achieving the first difficult goal in the gym, or maybe conquering a fear. Did those moments come easily? No. Those moments were born out of discomfort. This is the truth. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. The comfort zone only provides comfort, but greatness is always found beyond discomfort. So the next time you have two choices, one easy and one tough, remember that the tough choice is the path that will make you strong, disciplined, and extraordinary. Stepping out of the comfort zone is not easy, but as you face small discomforts, your mind and body will become stronger. And one day, even those tough choices will start to seem simple. Remember, the comfort zone is a sweet poison. It feels good at first, but slowly, it kills your full potential. And the real beginning of self-discipline happens when you break these chains and awaken your true power. So ask yourself, do you want to remain a prisoner of your comfort zone? Or do you want to break those chains and take your life to new heights? Because true freedom is achieved only when you break the chains of comfort. Chapter 4. The Art of Small Wins. Have you ever wondered why we suddenly get tired while moving towards big dreams? Why does our motivation run out in the middle of a long journey? The problem is not in the dreams. The problem is in our perspective.
We always see the destination as so big that the path starts to look scary. But what if I told you that the real secret to reaching big destinations is hidden in small wins? Just imagine you are climbing a mountain. When you look up, the peak is hidden in the clouds, so far that your courage begins to break. But if you only focus on the next step, just put your foot on the next stone, then slowly even that mountain starts to look smaller. This is the art of small wins. Small wins are the magic that recharges your confidence every day. When you complete a small goal every day, your brain gets a signal. Yes, I can do it. And this signal slowly turns into an unstoppable belief. People think that success is a big jump, but the truth is that success is made of small, consistent steps. For example, if you read 10 pages every day, you will complete 3,650 pages in a year, which means dozens of books. If you do 20 push-ups every day, you will do thousands of push-ups in a year. And this small habit will change your body and mind. Small wins may seem small, but their effect is profound. Imagine someone joins a gym and thinks, I want six-pack abs. If he only focuses on the abs, he will give up quickly. But if he celebrates the small progress every day, today I lost a pound, today my stamina increased a little, he will stick with it and eventually reach his goal. This formula works in every part of life, whether it's a career, studies, business, or personal growth. Big victories come to those who know how to collect small wins. Small wins teach us that discipline is not boring, but an exciting journey where every day you prove to yourself that you are better than before. These small victories keep that fire burning, which gives you the energy to last in the long run. So the next time you move towards a big dream, don't just look at the final goal. Make small goals, achieve them, and celebrate them, because the real magic is in the consistency that is born from small steps. Remember, small wins are the real power. They change your habits, they change your identity, and slowly they change your whole life. So decide from today to get one small win every day, whether it's studying for an hour, learning a new skill, or just reducing social media use by an hour. These small steps will write the story of your great success. And finally, when you look back, you will find that those small wins have taken you to the place you dreamed of reaching. This is the art of small wins. Chapter 5. Focus over distraction. Just think, you're sitting in a room, a book is open in front of you, or an important project is running on your laptop. You try your best to concentrate, but suddenly a phone notification comes and your attention gets diverted. You think, I'll just check for a minute, but that 1 minute slowly turns into an hour. And when you come back, your mind is empty, energy is gone, and you're filled with guilt. This is not just your story. It's the story of today's entire generation. We are living in an era where distractions have become more powerful than ever before. Social media, endless notifications, OTT platforms, online games, all of these are consuming our attention. But the question is, will we remain puppets of distraction, or will we take back our power of focus? Focus is not a small thing. It is the superpower that creates the difference between an average person and an extraordinary person. A student who studies with deep focus for 2 hours every day will have results far ahead of a student who studies for 6 hours but repeatedly checks his phone. A businessman who stays away from distractions and concentrates on his strategy grows many times faster than others. Distraction will always give you easy pleasure, but focus will give you long-term success. And this is the real game. Do you chase short-term fun, or are you ready for a long-term victory? Now imagine if you practice pure focus for just 1 hour a day, without your phone, without notifications, just focusing on your goal. Slowly your brain will be trained, and you will join the ranks of those for whom even the impossible becomes possible. The first step to achieving focus is awareness. Understanding that distraction doesn't just steal your time, it also consumes your energy, your creativity, and your confidence. Every time you pick up your phone, you send a signal to your brain that you are not in control, and this habit makes you weak from the inside. But when you decide that from now on your mind will follow your command, you become a game changer. You decide when to check your phone, when to work, and when to relax. And discipline is born from this balance. Remember, the most successful people in the world are not those who are the busiest. They are the ones who are the most focused. They
have conquered distractions, which is why they have conquered their lives. So make a promise to yourself today. Whenever a distraction pulls you, ask yourself, is this worthy of my goal? If the answer is no, then leave it, because every time you leave a distraction, you make your focus stronger. And when your focus becomes strong, your speed, your productivity, and your success can surprise anyone. So remember, the real power of life lies in where you place your attention. Distractions will always try to surround you, but the winner is the one who chooses focus. Chapter 6. Embracing Pain and Sacrifice. Imagine if life were only filled with comfort, fun, and easy choices. Would any person ever become great? History is witness. Whoever has become extraordinary, their stories have always had one common thing: pain and sacrifice. We all want to run away from pain. No one wants to feel it. But the truth is that pain is the teacher that gives us the biggest lessons. If you want to build muscle in the gym, you will have to endure pain. If you want to top your exams, you will have to stay up late at night. If you want to fulfill your dreams, you will have to sacrifice some comforts and pleasures. Pain and sacrifice are the currency with which success is bought. Imagine a person who sacrifices sleep for his goals every day, gives up entertainment, and puts himself in uncomfortable situations.
From the outside, people say, "Why is he struggling so much?" But after a few years, that same person gets far ahead of those same people. Why? Because he embraced pain and accepted sacrifice. Pain doesn't break you, it shapes you. But the condition is that you have to embrace it. Every time you face a struggle and still move forward, you discover a new strength within you. And this strength changes your identity. Making sacrifices is not easy. Giving up hanging out with friends, avoiding favorite shows, stopping late-night scrolling. These are all small sacrifices, but discipline is built from them. People always look for shortcuts. But the truth is, there are no shortcuts. Pain cannot be bypassed. Sacrifice cannot be avoided. If you run from struggle, you also run from success. But there's a magical truth hidden here. When you embrace pain and sacrifice, slowly, those very things become your strength. The pain of the gym starts giving you pleasure. The sacrifice of studying starts giving you pride. The difficulty of discipline starts giving you freedom. So the next time you stand before a discomfort or a sacrifice, don't run. Tell yourself, this is the price of my success, and I am ready to pay it. Remember, the bigger the dream, the bigger the pain, and the bigger the sacrifice required. But when you reach your destination and look back, all those struggles will become your biggest victory. So ask yourself, do you just want an easy life or a meaningful life? Because a meaningful life is only given to those who embrace pain and sacrifice. Chapter 7. Consistency is the king. Have you ever noticed that we all start with great enthusiasm? Whether it's a New Year's resolution, joining a gym, or adopting a new habit, the beginning is always explosive. But within a few days, that energy disappears. And then we return to where we started. The real game is not about starting, it's about sticking with it. And this is where the difference between winners and quitters in the world is created. Consistency might seem boring, doing the same thing over and over again every day, no excitement, no glamour, but this boring thing is what creates the magic that changes lives. Imagine if a farmer plants a seed and expects a plant to grow the very next day. What will happen? He will be disappointed. But the farmer who waters it every day, endures sun and cold, and has patience is the one who reaps the fruit one day. Consistency is just like that. Small efforts, repeated daily, create massive results. You put in a little effort every day, and this effort accumulates to become a life-changing outcome one day. But the problem is that our brain wants instant results. We want six-pack abs after going to the gym for 10 days. We want to become a topper after studying for a week. But the reality is that results never come without consistency. Now imagine if you spend just 1 hour on a skill every day. You won't see results today, not even tomorrow, but after 6 months,
After a year, you will become an expert in that skill. And this is the real power of consistency. Consistency connects us to the root of discipline. When you stick to a small step every day, your self-belief grows. You start to believe, yes, I can do it. And this belief makes you a long-term winner. It is true that consistency is tough. You will have to face boredom, resist temptations, and many times push yourself when your heart wants to give up. But remember, every time you don't give up, you strengthen your character. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect. It means getting up again after falling repeatedly and doing the same thing again, because victory belongs to those who stick to it until the end. So, if you want to change your life, don't rely on grand plans and instant motivation. Just take one small step every day and keep repeating it, because the real king, the real power, and the real success go to those who have understood that consistency is the king. Chapter 8. Discipline to freedom. Have you ever thought about what we all want in life? If we search for the answer to this question, most people would say freedom. To live with freedom, to follow our own rules, to pursue our dreams, to live a life where we don't need anyone's permission. But there is a deep truth hidden here. Freedom is not something that comes easily. Freedom is only granted to those who have mastered their lives with discipline. It sounds strange, doesn't it? We think discipline means restrictions, rules, sacrifices, and a boring routine. But in reality, discipline is the key that leads us to ultimate freedom. Think about it. If your mind is uncontrolled, you get caught in every distraction, you give in to every temptation, and you always choose instant pleasure. Are you free then? No, you are actually a slave to your habits and weaknesses. But when you control yourself with discipline, you decide when to work, when to relax, and when to enjoy. And this is true freedom, a life where you are the master, not your habits. Imagine a student who studies with discipline every day. Initially, it seems like he has put restrictions on himself, but after a few years, that same discipline gives him the career, the opportunities, and the lifestyle that others don't have. Now he is free, with his choices, with his dreams. Or consider a person who saves money with discipline. He misses parties, avoids luxuries. But after a few years, that same discipline gives him financial freedom. Now he can decide where to live, what to buy, how to live. This means discipline seems like a restriction in the short term, but in the long term, it gives you the greatest power in life, freedom. So, if you truly want to be free, you first have to bring yourself under rules. You first have to build control over yourself, because when you adopt discipline, you take the steering wheel of your life into your own hands. Remember, the person who runs from discipline always lives by others' rules, but the person who embraces discipline creates his own world. So, understand this final truth. Self-discipline is not a punishment. It is your greatest strength. It shapes your identity by changing your habits. And finally, it gives you what you have always wanted, a life of true freedom. The decision is in your hands. Do you want to live as a slave to momentary pleasures, or do you want to embrace discipline and live the life your heart has always yearned for? Because remember, true freedom is achieved only by the one who has understood discipline leads to freedom.
Conclusion. This entire journey teaches us a profound truth. Self-discipline is not a rule book, not a punishment, nor a boring routine. Self-discipline is actually the power that can transform your life from average to extraordinary. We learned how purpose gives us direction, how mind control saves us from distractions, how breaking the chains of the comfort zone leads us to growth, how small wins make us stronger every day, how focus channels our energy in the right place, how pain and sacrifice teach us to pay the price for success, how consistency makes us unbeatable, and how, in the end, discipline gives us the ultimate reward, freedom. Now, the question is not whether you can learn discipline or not. The only question is, Are you ready for it? Because no one else will come to change your life. This responsibility is solely and completely yours. Remember, every time you win over yourself, you give your life a new direction. And one day, these small steps will come together to create your dream life. So make a decision from today that you will no longer be a slave to your habits, laziness, and distractions. You will become your own master, because when you take control of yourself, the whole world comes under your control. And this is the real secret of self-discipline.